Sealey, a distinguished fine artist from the vibrant islands of Trinidad and Tobago, has captivated audiences with his spellbinding landscape paintings. His unique ability to capture the essence of the Caribbean's natural beauty has earned him recognition both locally and now spreading internationally. In his latest exhibition, Is Right Down Dey, Ricardo explores the intricate relationship between the land and its people.
I find endless inspiration in the natural beauty of our islands. Every scene, every moment has a story to tell, and I strive to capture that in my paintings.
Through his evocative brushstrokes and rich color palettes, he invites viewers to experience the soul of Trinidad and Tobago, from its lush rainforests to its bustling urban landscapes. Ricardo's journey as an artist began in his early years, where he discovered his passion for painting the world around him. Over the years, he has honed his craft, drawing inspiration from the island's diverse culture and breathtaking scenery. His work is a testament to his deep connection with his homeland and his commitment to preserving its beauty through art. Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Anila's Mic. Today we're going to have a feature presentation with artist Ricardo Sealey. Ricardo, how are you today?
Okay, I'm fine. Thank you very much for having me here at your program.
Well, I would like to just jump right into it. Since you are a painter and artist, let's find out a little bit about who is Ricardo Sealey.
Okay, so Ricardo Sealey. Ricardo Sealey is, I'm the last of 4 children. I'm a public speaker, motivational speaker. I'm also a professional artist for the last 20 odd years. Having been self-taught for the most part, and which there has been different parts within my art career so far. I started from as early as at the age of 5 years old, and up to about 20 years old, and then there was a 20-year hiatus that I had to take, and because of different circumstances, life on the whole, and then I got back into it almost about 5-6 years ago, where it has just taken off, and yeah, that's why I'm here now.
So let's talk about influences in your art.
Over the years, I've been influenced by many, starting with my teachers from around 5 years old. I remember one of my teachers in primary school, she asked me to draw an animal in class, and I drew 2 whales. She was impressed, showed it around the school, and informed my parents as well as to how impressed she was about it. And from there, that encouragement took me to continue drawing, continue improving my craft. Continuing to secondary school, where I continued to draw. I actually sold my drawings in school, some of them for $20. Actually, so I made some money in school.
That was big money at the time.
Yes, it was. Made a lot of money. But beyond that, I looked at the so-called masters,
Yes.
like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, but that was just the beginning for me. I looked at these guys and what it is they did, and how they were able to impress persons and be able to improve their art over the years, and to take their art worldwide. And beyond that, so with that information, I studied them, and it pushed me to be a part of competitions, to be a part of exhibitions. One of my first competitions was actually at excellent stores. Many persons wouldn't remember that there was a gallery there, but there was a gallery in Excellent Stores, and at the gallery, I had some pieces there, which were well received for the most part. I guess maybe later on in the conversation we could speak about certain experiences I had there.
Sure.
But as time went on, as I said, well, life took place. I know having a family and so on, and I took a break. But I always worked on developing my art, trying to remain current, and just to be, to let my art speak for itself. Yeah. So, and just the natural landscapes, actually, landscapes and people, just looking at people. Yeah, it's always been a motivator for me.
Okay, speaking of landscapes, what are some of the main concepts and themes that you love to paint and you get inspired by?
Well, nature on the whole, I love
Yes.
my island, Trinidad and Tobago. Just looking around, and to me, I see beauty all around.
Right.
It's wonderful to see, the seascapes, the different, how the land is made, and it's always been inspiring for me, and the colors, the natural colors, and it's so amazing that it's nothing more than a 2-hour drive most times for us to get to see these places of such natural beauty. And I've always been intrigued by these things, and for some reason so because of that, I've always focused on landscapes. Person always like my landscapes, but I always dabble in portraits as well. I try to do portraits, and yeah, that's my main thing. Yeah.
Is there a part of Trinidad you haven't painted yet that you're looking forward to?
That I'm looking forward to. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to actually. I love Matlot. Yeah. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to get there.
Yes.
But yes, that's one of my areas that I'm focused on. Over the years, it's been more Shagaramas, Toko. So you see a lot of my paintings with those areas. Yeah, I love those. Where you could see the sunrise and the sunsets, and yeah, streams, anything with streams. Yeah, I love those kind of things. Those captivate me.
And have you made it over to Tobago? You have some paintings of Tobago?
Definitely, yeah. Will those be coming?
Oh,
Yeah, those that to come. I have there's certain parts of the island,
Yes.
yeah, that is just really beautiful, outstanding. Yeah, some really mesmerizing
Right.
spots, and yeah, I'll be showcasing those in time to come.
well, and when you're doing landscapes, the time of day that you're painting has an impact and influence on your art too. Like if it's a day, sunrise or sunset and this sort of thing. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, most definitely. I like mainly the sunset period. There's something about the blend of colors and shapes of the clouds.
Gorgeous
and
when it's orange and dark blue
Yeah.
and dark gray. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that is what just makes me feel like at home. Like when I'm probably at my most down period or something, I would just go sit, draw, even if it's take a photograph of the image, and yeah, it really encourages me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your creative process of where you get an initial idea for a piece to completion.
I would normally go to the location, whatever area that I'm looking at, I'm interested in. I'll go to the area, and I will take an initial drawing, an initial sketch of the area. I'll take multiple sketches actually, and based on what area may be of interest to me, I will then take a number of photographs.
Right.
And let's say if it's one spot, I might take about 20 photographs of that particular area, and I will then take it at home, where I will go through a three-stage process, where there will be, which I consider the blocking, modeling, and the detailing. So the modeling sorry, the
Blocking.
blocking. The blocking is where you would cover the canvas with your initial colors, ensuring that excuse me, ensuring that that you capture the essence of what it is that you're looking to paint, right? With the main colors. And well, the modeling, it is like the mid stage, right? Which will help you to be able to know where the main colors that you're looking to bring out the image that you're looking to captivate. And then the detailing, of course, is the final fine details in which will make the paintings into something spectacular, right? Because you want at the end of your painting for someone to want more, they must look at your painting and say, how he did that. So that is more or less my process.
Well, it's a good thing we live in the digital age. We can go with our phones or our camera and take all those pictures immediately.
Yes, it helps.
Instead of the 35mm camera and waiting for development.
It most definitely helps.
How do you choose your materials and determine what technique to use in a particular piece?
So my preference is acrylic and oils. For the most part, when I use acrylic, I like acrylic because it's fast drying, right? And if I'm doing something for a client, majority of time I would use acrylic because I'll be able to finish the piece in a much faster pace,
Yes.
right? But once I'm looking to do something that is pleasing for me, something that I could put my stamp on, I would normally use oils because with oils, you're able to bring out and for certain parts of the painting to stand out much more. That's my preference at least. So most of the times with oils, you're able to manipulate it much more. There's something about oils that most artists don't like to use, but because it could be a little bit tricky to use. But when I'm doing my own paintings for me, I would use oils. And there's, of course, the mediums that comes with it. Whether it be impasto, if it is that you want to put a thick layer on the painting or a particular part of the painting. Or there's like fine details. So like right now I'm exploring with liquid fine detail. So that is just at the end of the painting for certain areas, again, to be able to draw attention in that particular area. So I would use that. And then, of course, you use your vanishes to show, it actually completes the painting at the end of it.
Is there a specific piece of artwork that holds significant meaning to you?
I would like to go back to the competition that I spoke about earlier at Excellent Stores. So I have a piece at home. It's somewhat hidden, right? I call it's named the Nubian Queen. So it's a painting that I did that I would have been around 19 years old, somewhere there, when I entered that competition. And I submitted that piece together with two other pieces at the competition. And it's a black lady, and she has a coquille broom, what we call a coquille broom, right, with the strands. And I was pleased with my painting. It is an acrylic painting, and I have a lot of friends, family who love the painting. But at the competition, the curator who was in charge, he came to me, looked at the painting, and he said, "That is not art." So at that moment, I pulled back. I was wondering, how could you tell me that? You didn't even explain to me what you mean by that. You just walked away. But so it did hurt me at the moment. I was like, as an aspiring artist, that just hurt me to the core. But I also used it as a moment to help me to rise and become even better at my craft. Because I'm not going to let somebody's opinion to they're somebody else's opinion. That is their opinion. And so I didn't know it at that time, but I learned it over time, as the years went on by, and that has developed me, made me stronger, right, as an artist, and to know that I have to believe in myself. I can expect anyone else to believe in me. So that I hold very close to my heart, and I don't think I've very few persons have actually seen that piece. But that piece is my motivator.
Well, you're going to show it to Anila's mic one day, right?
One day.
And also, did you ever meet that guy to get clarification about what he meant?
Oh, no, I have never had the opportunity, but I would like to show him Anila's podcast and show him how far I've reached.
Yes, I think so. Let's find him and get that done. So, do you ever have periods where you just have a blank in your mind and there's no art at all? And how do you deal with that?
There are occasions, especially in the earlier stages of my art career, where I've had that artistic block.
Yeah.
And, you have a piece before you. You have an image before you. You know where you're going, where you intend to go with it. But for some reason, you feel like if your spirit just can't push you to continue with the painting. And you feel as though you don't know how to continue with the painting. But it took some time, and over the years, there was an occasion where I saw a guy on Netflix. There was a guy on Netflix, and this person, he's an illustrator for the New York Times, and he spoke about the fact that the difference between an amateur and a professional is the professional doesn't see a block. They push through that block.
Okay.
So that is what I've used, and when I heard that just helped me to say, okay, if I really want to make this thing work, I need to just get the grind on and make sure that even though I may not be feeling 100%, even though I may not feel as though I have the encouragement right now to push forward, I need to get it done somehow, some way. And so that helps me. That has helped me over the years. Yeah, to get over that artistic block.
Right. So when you have, somebody tell you they want a painting of whatever, having that deadline may also be a motivating factor in overcoming something like that.
Definitely. Then deadlines are the greatest things for me because I will share with you something. A couple of years ago, I was given the opportunity to paint some paintings for a particular client.
Yes.
And there was a number of paintings, and a number of huge paintings.
Okay.
And I was given 3 days. And within that 3-day period, I just found myself standing in front of the painting whole day practically, and just having my family bring food for me. I would just use the washroom.
And a pot of coffee too.
A pot of coffee.
Yeah.
And I would just stand there and paint, and just to make sure and get the job done, because I knew that deadline. I had to get it completed by the deadline. So deadlines do help. Yeah, in a major way.
It's a bit of an unreasonable deadline, 3 days.
Yeah, I know, but let's say it was worth
it.
Let's say it was worth it.
I knew where you were going with that.
Yes.
Now, do you like to experiment in your artwork, or what role does experimentation play in your art?
Experimentation plays a major role for me. It is important, I think, in any area of, especially someone who is a creative, whether it is that is a artist, or musician, or whatever field you are in, I think experimentation is important in order for growth, any form of growth. Personally, for me, I look everywhere that I could get some kind of information, some kind of new thing to guide to help me build myself as an artist. So, like right now, I'm looking at some of the young artists that we have out there. They are really using all sorts of different things, even the devices, from AI to, there's Adobe Photoshop. Yeah, there's different things that you could use, and as well as there's some new mediums out there that you could use. So I see it as I don't like to remain one place. I never like to remain one place. I like to see that I like to see growth in what I'm doing, and I don't think anyone else wants to see me remain one place. So like there's some things that I'm working on right now, and with the intention that if you think my paintings are good now, the intention is that you must think of it as magnificent in time to come, because there's especially when you look at persons who are successful artists, they never remain in one place. Even as far back as Picasso, Picasso started one place. He started in fine art as a fine artist, and then when he was successful as a fine artist, then he went on to cubism and all these different things. So it is important in my art as well. Yes.
So, what are some of the challenges that you've faced as an artist here in Trinidad and Tobago, and how have you handled them?
Some of the challenges would be, it's some of them have been personal, because I've had to learn how to separate my art from business, because as an artist, you just want to create art. You just want to paint whole day, and sometimes, especially in my younger days, you would get a huge set of money, and you would spend it on frivolous things, never knowing where the money going.
Yeah.
So over time, I just had to learn that for it to work, for yourself to even know that, hey, I am a professional. I needed to, pull ledger books, take accountability for different things, and just turn it into a business, have a more business form of thinking. And so it was a personal struggle. Yeah. So even and on top of that, you can't just paint. You need to market yourself as well. So I needed to learn how to become a marketer, how to market myself, because it's important. It's important that you could paint, and many people not know what you do. You can paint and not gain any interest from anyone. Your friends and family might see it, but the eyes that you want to truly see in your painting, you need to learn how to market. And so those are some of the things I had to learn. I haven't had any problems with persons not liking my art,
Right.
but it has been a journey. But so those are some of the things I've had to deal with.
So, I know you've had several exhibitions, and it's probably hard to choose moments that stand out, but is there one that kind of stands out for you?
I would say that all of them have their own place, that where there was a lot of memories for me. But I'm always love when at any exhibition, when persons come to me, or they walk up to my painting. I look especially towards person when they walk to my paintings, and they stand, they look at it, and they look at it for a while, and some of them, they will come to me afterwards and they would say, well, hey, your painting remind me of my childhood, a childhood experience.
Right.
Like there was an experience where I had there was a painting of the seaside at Manzanilla. And this guy, he came to me and he told me, say, hey, that remind me, that sent me right back.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was, it was something, it was touching, that I could actually do something like that for someone,
Right.
without even knowing it, and yeah, so things like that. I always love my friends and family around me when I have these exhibitions. Yeah, but I also like those who I don't know, and the mere fact that at that moment we could share that painting.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I think I remember you said that particular piece, he put a little extra on that for you, right?
Ah, wow. Yeah,
Right?
you have a good memory.
And I love that. You can go and take a photograph of something, but what you did in that painting really jumped out to him. And that's why, he valued it so
Yes.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little extra.
A big tip.
Yes.
So you've been doing art for such a long time. I would like you to share some tips and advice for aspiring artists.
Yeah. I remember a quote. It was from, I think it was a comedian, Steve Martin. Right? He said, to be so good that they cannot deny you. And I think that quote, that quote resonated with me. It helped push me in many ways. I think that any young one, if you really listen to the words in that statement, it will help guide you to know that you don't have to be the best out there. You're not required to be the best, but at least be motivated towards mastery in some way, because there's enough mediocre art, mediocre music, I think, out here. Develop your craft, take your time, work hard, right? In my time, I could tell you, in my time, there was no internet. I had to look through a lot of books. There was a lot of reading, right? And having to go by the library, because I didn't have, my parents couldn't afford to send me to do any training or anything like that, to go to art school or anything like that. So I had to go to the library and read up on all these things and read up on the different crafts. So there's a lot of avenues out there, especially with the internet now, where you could get training. There's the images readily available. So there's so much now, for a young artist, but you have to give yourself all. You have to train, as I say, like an athlete, right? Give it, your all, because, and something will come out of it. Something will come out from it. This is the time, I believe, that because there's so much, again, as I said, more mediocre work. Now is the time that, as a young person, you could shine. There's an opportunity for the youths and them to shine. You could stand out, right? Yeah. So, yeah, those are some of the things that I would share with a young person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the art world, the art community, have you seen it change a lot during the time that you've been doing your art? Has it changed for better? Is it changing for worse? How do you see things?
It's clearly subjective to the person who sees it, because it's, you will see some paintings. Some people might look at my painting and say, hey, how come you don't charge more for your paintings? But then you will see, like in recent time, someone will take a banana, stick it to a wall, and paid 60 million for a painting, for that, a banana stuck to our wall. So art is really in the eyes of the beholder, right? How good it is, right? And who owns the art? Because a painting owned by, let's say, Elon Musk is something else. The price, the worth of that painting. It's so it's getting better in terms of the availability of things. Before there are certain paints that you couldn't even get on the market. Now it's readily available, and yeah, there's like even the AI. There are things that help you with in terms of AI. Your AI could would make your life a whole lot easier. You don't want to rely on it 100%, of course. Because in my book, it's not really true art. But again, I might get licks for that. But it's a tool that you could use. That and the Photoshop and these different things. Yeah, so it's changing for me for the good, but it also has some questionable areas in it.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the AI influence, because even in music, there's influence there,
Yeah.
where you put in all this stuff and then it spits out a piece of music or whatever, but it's not really coming from us, humans.
Yeah.
And I think in the art world in particular, it's really something special to have a human work on a piece of art rather than just something,
Yes.
coming out like that.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it right now. There's I want to say like a stance, especially in the United States, where artists are coming together, and they're stating that they're making a stand for fine artists, because there are persons who are using the AI and claiming that is the art, but the intention now is to show that separation, right? Because there's a certain amount of work that you have to put in to go into a school, training, reading, and developing what you do. And so yeah, so there's definitely something there that needs to be explored, but yeah.
Is there like a lot of people here in Trinidad and Tobago that use AI in their art? Do you have an idea?
I haven't come across much, but I want to believe so. I mean,
Yeah.
When I look at it, it's something like amazing. Because you type in just a certain, you ask AI to just create something, and it spits out these various images. So it's something it's so easy now, but it could also, I would say, cheat you as a creative, because if you could take the time to really sit down, again, as I said, sit down, use your mind,
Yes.
and put pen to paper and do your own creation, or it'll be better. Even if you use the AI to start, as I said, but don't let it do 80% of the work, and then you just put in 20% and you say that, this is full art. I just don't believe in that. Yeah.
Right. Now, are there some people that you would like to thank that have helped you along the way in honing your craft?
There's a couple of people. Well, yes, definitely my wife, Paula, my sisters, Kathy and Arlene. I have my nephews and nieces who have always been there for me. And I have some good friends as well, like Barry and Joel. Yeah, I have some really good friends, Geddes. Yeah, I have some good friends along the way who have helped me, who actually would send information, like images and so on for me, and so yeah, I appreciate those people. Yeah.
Now, I also know that you are a believer. Now, how does that affect the way that you approach art, or are there things about art that you won't touch?
Yeah, well, as a believer, I definitely there's certain things that I would not delve into at all,
Right.
right? Because you don't want anything to interfere with the path that you're on. I have my beliefs. Everyone have their beliefs, But as a Christian, you just try to stay on your road as to the teachings of Christ. Yeah, and so yeah, there are certain things I just don't touch. Yeah.
Now, I'd love to know what is next for you, Ricardo, in terms of your art and exhibitions and all these things.
So there's an exhibition. I'll be having an exhibition at Annim's Gallery. That's on Tragrit Road in the month of April. And so I'll be having at least 25 pieces on display. So yeah, come out and support. And so that's one of the main things right now. And in recent times, I've been getting a lot of attention internationally as well. So I am working towards that for that to even grow even more. Yeah, and so that's some of the things that in projects in work right now. Yeah, and anyone who wants to follow me can reach me at Ricardo_Sealey on Instagram, or on Facebook, just Ricardo Sealey. Those are the two main platforms that I'm on.
Well, Ricardo, we've come to the end of our interview, and I would love to thank you so much for being with us and sharing so much about yourself and your art. And I'm looking forward to your exhibition in April of 2025 at Arnhem's, right?
Yes.
So thank you again, and we can't wait to see all your art on display.
And thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Yes.
Welcome.